This article will focus on grooming, especially slickers. Some pet owners are skeptical about these brushes. This reaction is caused by the fact that all slickers have wire bristles. The question immediately arises, is it worth buying? Or is it a waste of money? What is a slicker slicker? The slicker slicker is an animal grooming tool that can be used on both cats and dogs. The main purpose is combing out dead hair and keratinized skin particles, untangling tangles, removing small debris from fur. Usually, the working part of the slicker is rectangular with densely packed rows of bristles. Each bristle is angled to avoid scratching the skin when brushing. In addition to removing dirt and dead hair, the slicker keeps fur and skin in good condition, while the bristles distribute sebum over the coat, which is the natural protector of the hair. Slickers are often used for thin, sparse, or curly coats, as these types of coats require more time and more care. There are several breeds of dogs that will need this brush. Golden Retriever, Poodle Cocker Spaniel, Siberian Husky Malamute, Samoyed, Yorkshire Terrier, Schnauzer. Is the slicker safe? If used properly, the slicker is absolutely safe for your animals. It is worth giving some advice to those people who would like to use the slicker. First, do not create pressure when working with the slicker. The most common mistake when using a slicker for the first time is excessive bristle pressure on the skin. In this case, there is a risk of creating discomfort or irritation of the skin, as the bristles can be too stiff. It is also not recommended to use these types of brushes if your animals have skin problems such as irritation, wounds, or skin parasites, fleas. In this case, the slicker can cause itchy skin or spread skin infections throughout the animal's body. Secondly, since the slicker is usually used for longer-haired dogs, it is irrational to purchase such a tool for a boxer or a Labrador. Slickers have different bristle lengths. One should also consider when choosing. If your pet is from small breeds with thin hair, you should not buy a brush, the bristles of which are long enough, as the likelihood of unwanted scratches on the skin will increase. What kind of brush can I use for my dog? There are 3 types of brushes, among which you can choose the most suitable for your pet's coat. Bristle brush, this gets easily applied on any type of coat. These are natural boar bristle brushes. Wire pin brush, typically used on long to medium coats, for curly coats. These are massage combs, massage. Slicker brush, ideal for removing tangles. This is a slicker slicker. Each type of combs is designed for a specific type of coat. In order to make it easier to determine the appropriate tool, below is a simple table that will help you. How to use a slicker slicker? With proper use of the slicker slicker, you can not only thoroughly untangle the tangles, but also put the wool in order, and with long-term care. You can achieve shine and intense growth. Overall a good, healthy coat. Here's an example of how you can use the slicker along with other grooming tools for your animals. You will need slicker brush, bristle brush, natural bristle brush, spray conditioner, or water in a spray bottle, comb with combined metal bristles. Using 1. First, you need to prepare the skin of the animal before using the slicker. Spray a small amount of conditioner spray or water on the coat. This method will help you avoid damage to your hair. 2. After making sure that the slicker is right for you, start combing. If your animal is using the brush for the first time, try to make a slow, sweeping motion from the neck to the tail. In these areas, you remove dead hair and dirt, so there is no need to exert. It is to be noted, for instance, if dog already possess long coat, then no point in using the entire brush plane. This will make it easier to comb the fur from root to tip. 3. While working with a slicker, you may hear a strange scraping sound, as if the brush was tearing through the fur. In fact, you stumbled upon matted coats or tangles. When untangling the tangles, there is a high probability of creating discomfort in the animal, and subsequently causing reluctance to comb out the fur. Therefore, in such problem areas it is worth postponing the slicker slicker. Try to loosen the knots of wool with the help of your fingers and arm yourself with a metal comb. 4. After you have dealt with the hated mats, turn your attention to the slicker. At this stage, thanks to the dense row of fine bristles, the slicker will help unravel the small knots that the comb has failed to handle. It is necessary to comb the place of coltumevinia until the slicker will not pass freely enough through the wool. It is not worth pulling the wool with effort, trying to comb out the problem area as soon as possible. There is a risk that the bristles will pull on healthy hairs, causing discomfort and irritation. Always start at the ends of your hair. 5. Once you've combed your pet's back, repeat the same procedure on other areas. Do not use a muzzle slicker. 6. The last stage, the final zone, is the muzzle and ears. The bristle brush, a soft brush made from natural bristles, will be relevant here. Bristle brush can also be used on the entire body of the dog as a final brushing, a kind of polishing of the fur and removal of the remaining loose hair. At the end of the procedure, be sure to praise your pet and treat him with a treat for patience and your common work as a reward. Smile. At the end of the procedure, be sure to praise your pet and treat him with a treat for patience and your common work as a reward. Smile. Advantages and disadvantages of the Slicker. Benefits. Just to inform, this brush has usage both for dogs and cats. Very easy to use. A good helper when untangling tangles. Removes dead skin particles, hairs and brushes out small debris from the undercoat. Disadvantages. There is a risk of skin scratching. Detangling tangles can pull on healthy hairs and irritate your skin. Some dogs and cats do not like to be combed out with a slicker. What should I pay attention to when choosing a slicker? As discussed earlier, the slicker is completely safe when used correctly. But before you come to the store and buy the first slicker you come across, you need to know a few nuances when choosing a tool and know what to take and what not. For starters, when you are already in the store and pick up the slicker, first test it on your skin. Gently brush the teeth over the skin. Thus, it will be possible to determine the stiffness of the bristles and choose a slicker with non-sharp teeth. If the slicker scratches your skin, it is better not to purchase such a tool. Make sure the slicker is the correct size. Typically, brushes come in 3 sizes: small, medium and large. This stage is quite important, especially if your dog is a decorative breed. Note that for your cute small friends, this not-so-large brush is optimal. Also pay attention to the length of the prongs. It is incredibly important to keep the entire instrument clean. Do not leave wool on the slicker after brushing. Be sure to rinse the brush to remove dirt, hair, sebum and dead skin particles. Such procedures will protect your pet's skin from infections. If there are insects or parasites in the fur of your animals, disinfection of the brush is mandatory, since the particles of dead insects are the same dirt and infections. How to clean a slicker? Cleaning the brush is actually quite simple. Simple procedures not only disinfect the instrument, but also extend the service life. You will need hot water, a bowl or any deep container, soap, disinfectant, dry cloth or old towel. 1. First, you need to clean the slicker from wool. This procedure can be done with your hands or with a second brush, rubbing the brushes together. 2. Fill a bowl with hot water and a cleaning agent such as soap or disinfectant. Chlorine is used to clean the slicker if pets have sensitive skin or skin diseases. It is not recommended to use chlorine as a disinfectant on a permanent basis, as it can accelerate tool wear. 3. Soak the slicker in water for 10 to 15 minutes. Then you can rinse the brush under running water with soap and wipe it dry so that no rust forms. Should I buy a slicker? After all, the slicker brush is one of the most popular grooming tools and is able to keep your animal's skin and fur in top condition. As long as you use tools of this kind, your animal's hair will be in a beautiful, well-groomed condition. Don't forget to subscribe the channel name, which is Rich Fountain. Stay safe.